They called it a tragedy. But I remember it as murder. And even in death, I swore I'd return, not as the boy she threw away, but as something darker. Stronger. Something the ancestors themselves couldn't ignore. My name was Luthando. I was born in a small township just outside Pietermaritzburg. My father, Bekezizwe, was a quiet, hard-working man. A school principal. My mother, Tendai, was a nurse at the local clinic and the kindest person I've ever known. But she died when I was 8. They said it was cancer, but to this day I believe her death came too quickly, too silently. Like something or someone helped it along. 3 months later, my father married Nombula. At first, everyone said she was a blessing. A good woman, the auntie said. Beautiful. Educated. Respectable. But behind that bright smile was something cruel. I felt it the moment she touched my shoulder. Cold. Empty. My father changed. He started spending more time away, leaving Nombula in charge. That's when the abuse began. At first, it was small things. Forgetfulness. Leaving me locked outside when it rained. Telling my father I'd misbehaved. But soon, it escalated. She made me sleep in the outside rendezvous meant for chickens. No blanket. No mattress. Only a thin mat and the cold Casian nights. Food became a privilege. I was allowed to eat only pap, sometimes mixed with spoiled milk. When I tried to complain, she accused me of witchcraft, said I was bringing bad spirits into the house. That's how it works in the townships. A whisper of umuthi, witchcraft, and everyone avoids you. Even my own father. He believed her. He believed that I was jealous of her unborn child, that I resented her for replacing my mother. One day, I came home from school and found my room stripped bare. She told me it would now belong to her baby. That I had to learn to live like a true servant of the ancestors. That was the day I started hearing the whispers. At first, I thought it was my imagination. Soft voices in the wind. Calling my name. Luthando. Luthando. I followed the sound one night and found myself at Gogo Nomsibo's house, an old Sangoma who lived on the edge of the village. She took one look at me and froze. You walk with the dead, she said. But you're not one of them, yet. She let me sleep on her floor that night. She gave me warm tea and bones to hold while I slept. The next day, my father dragged me back. Nomvula had made up a story that I'd stolen money and run away. That night, she pushed me into the pit latrine. And locked the cover. It was a slow death. Dark. Suffocating. Cold. The smell of decay, the sounds of flies. I screamed until my throat gave out. Then the silence came. And then, the light. But I didn't wake up in heaven. I woke up somewhere ancient. The sky was purple. The earth was black. I stood barefoot in a land of shadows and fire. Before me stood a council of spirits, tall figures robed in feathers, smoke rising from their hands. Their eyes glowed with starlight. You are not meant to be here, one said. She has disrupted the balance, said another. Then a third, the tallest, came forward. You are Luthando, child of Tendai and Bekezizwe. Your spirit is not broken. It is reborn. He struck the ground with a staff, and my body changed. No longer the frail, abused boy. I became tall. Muscled. Armored. Tattooed with ancient Zulu symbols. A warlord. A vessel of vengeance. You shall become Kosi Luthando, the spirit said. You shall return. But you will not return alone. And with a burst of light, I was gone. I woke up in a field just outside Ilanskop. Naked. Confused. Covered in clay and old blood. A truck driver found me and took me to a local clinic. I told them I was a victim of abduction. They believed me. After all, a boy presumed dead returning with no memory. That's just another story in a land full of secrets. But I remembered everything. Everything she did. And I was going to make her pay. I created a new identity. Sibusiso Dlamini. A social worker. I forged documents, studied case files, learned the law. But I also studied the old ways. The Izangoma had trained me in the spirit realm. Now I went back to Gogo Nomsibo. She recognized me. Knew I wasn't a ghost. She helped me harness what the ancestors had given me, visions, whispers, flames in my palm, and the ability to walk through dreams. I found my half-brother, Saifo. He was now 12. Quiet. Withdrawn. Afraid. She was doing the same thing to him. History was repeating itself. So I stopped watching. And I started acting. First, I haunted her. I left symbols on her door, bones tied with red string. I filled her dreams with fire and snakes. I made the dogs bark at nothing. The mirror shattered when she walked by. She began to unravel. She went to a prophet. He told her that the boy she buried was not resting. She began sleeping in a church pew. It didn't help. Then came the ritual night, Saifo's 13th birthday. I made sure it was storming. I knew she would try to perform a cleansing on him, to drive out the spirit she said was haunting their home. That night, I arrived. Not as a boy, but as Nkosi Koluthendo, dressed in war beads, eyes glowing, backed by the thunder of ancestral rage. She screamed. I let her. Saifo stood frozen. But I walked to him, put my hand on his head. You are safe now. I turned to Nomvula. And I unleashed it all. I didn't kill her. That would be too easy. I called the Council of Ancestors. I bound her spirit. I stripped her of her voice, her beauty, her mind. I cursed her to walk the land unseen, unwanted, never able to sleep, never able to forget. Her body lives. But her soul is trapped in the shadow world, where the whispers never stop. Now, I raise Saifo. We live quietly in Durban. He goes to school, plays soccer, smiles again. But he knows who I am, and what I came back for. The ancestors still speak to me. They say the balance is not yet restored. There are others like Nomvula, hiding, abusing, destroying. I have become their justice. I am not a ghost. I am not a spirit. I am Nkosi Koluthendo, and I walk with the dead. But I fight for the living. Stop asking if this is true. You tell me, have you ever felt someone watching you when you thought you were alone? Because sometimes, I'm already there,